story, and they caused the whole scene outside.
Well, he did. He blew up. Cause he said,
I ain't got to that part yet.
What you mean?
Hey guys, it's Sharika and welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe before you leave. I would love to have you. So today we are doing a seafood tower. I have some king crab, Dungeness crab, lobster, shrimp, and mussels.
Yeah. For
today's drink, we're gonna just call this a Bahama Breeze. And what you got, Tony?
Got a good old rum and coke, you know me.
Rum and coke, so let's go ahead and say grace. Amen. So this is my husband Tony, those of you that's new to the channel.
What's up, y'all?
He's joining us tonight. We're gonna go ahead and do our shots. Good. Woo. Hey y'all, happy Friday. Hopefully y'all can see us. So we're gonna get it in. I'm gonna start off with a mussel. I do have story time today.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, from the thing we watched yesterday.
Okay.
The story time is from Fear Thy Neighbor. I know I've been doing Fear Thy Roommate, but we're gonna do Fear Thy Neighbor. And it's crazy, y'all. So y'all make sure y'all sitting down. Tell the JoJo them to go in the room, cause it's grown folks' business, okay? I'm gonna do a dip real quick. Get out the shrimp dip. Okay. Take this bite. You gonna do some of the Florida butter too?
I'm good. I'm just gonna do mayo. I'll grab some in a minute if I want some.
Oh, it's so good. You gotta try some. We smacking?
Yep, I'm hungry.
Okay. Look how wrong I'm going in the room. Okay. So, there was this guy named Lee. So, Lee had just purchased his first home in Miami. This story happened like 2018.
Lauderdale Lakes.
Oh, Lauderdale Lakes. Okay, y'all know when we have company, he like to do the little
Oh, my
side
bad.
chitter chatter.
My mouth is zipped.
I doubt it. So, Mr. Lee had just purchased his first home. It was a fixer-upper, so he jumped right on it. First day, he moved in, and he started the renovations. All of the neighbors were really nice. Everybody, you know, noticed that there was a lot of construction going on. Everybody come by, wave, talk to him, whatever. Well, his next door neighbor, she was a little too comfortable. She walked in the house unannounced to introduce herself. So we'll call her Keisha. So Keisha introduced herself, welcomed him to the neighborhood. And he was a little thrown off by that because he said he was a little old-fashioned and he wasn't used to women approaching men. Like, he just wasn't used to that, so it kind of threw him off, and she would do most of the talking. So she was nice. Everything was cool. So as time went on, the construction is going to take a while because they had to do like a lot of stuff. So she would tell him, well, he can go ahead and park his truck in her yard because, you know, like the construction trucks, the garbage, what is that little thing called? Like the thing you put your garbage in and stuff.
The dumpster?
Like a little dumpster was out there for the construction people. So she told him, you can park your truck in my parking lot. So he was like, okay, cool. So they became friends from that. And they live right next door to each other.
And they're neighbors.
So, she loved coming up. That was her thing. She loved to come over there unannounced. She did it all the time. And it kind of got on his nerve. But, you know, she was nice, whatever. So, one particular day, she come out the house. And, of course, he got to go to her yard because his truck is parked over there. So, she was shorter than him. He made, like, a little joke calling her short. Like, what's up, shorty? Or whatever. And kisses her on the forehead. And
he called her a coat rack. Coat rack or something like that.
Yeah, look, he called her like a little hat rack or something like that.
Yeah, hat rack or something like that.
Which meant...
He can hang his hat on her.
Yeah, because she was so short. But I was going to leave that part out.
My bad.
Y'all know how it is when we have company. Let me dip one of these mussels for y'all. Let's do a mussel. We haven't did a mussel in a while. Look at that, y'all. So, ever since he kissed her on the forehead, she was sweet on him.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Mr. Lee had him a little friend. And Keisha wasn't having it. Like, when Mr. Lee's friend was over there, Keisha stared down or whatever.
Mean looking.
So, Mr. Lee's little friend used to tell him, like, I think your neighbor a little sweet on you. So, he was like, no, I don't really think, you know, I don't really think so, whatever. So, again, she would always come over there. He's sitting on the porch. She come over there, talk his ear off. And he didn't really like that. So, the neighborhood was pretty quiet. But Keisha would be outside on her phone arguing with her boyfriend. And once the construction was over, Keisha would still want him to park his truck in her driveway. So after a while, Mr. Lee was like, why does she want me to park my truck over here? Is she trying to like get back to somebody, trying to make them feel like, oh, she got another dude over here? Like, what is it? He ain't really like that. So, honey, you gotta try some of this dip.
I will.
So, Mr. Lee decides he was gonna start parking his truck in a shopping plaza 5 minutes away from the house, so he can basically avoid her, because she was like the annoying neighbor at this point.
She didn't want him to know that she was home, you know. I mean, that he was home.
He didn't want her to know that
he was home.
He was home, so he can get a little peace and quiet, because as soon as she see the truck outside, she come over, she want to talk or whatever. And he was kind of getting, you know, aggravated with that, because it was going on for so long. So,
Get that out of the way. Don't knock it over.
Just pull it out.
I don't know the phone.
So this one particular day, he's sitting on his sitting in his living room in his underwear, trying to enjoy him a nice beer. She just walks in. So when he came out, of course he has on like his chill clothes, his boxers and his t-shirt, and she looking down like ooh, ooh, whatever, and walks out and say she'll come back later.
You're like, ooh, my bad. Like, what she seen, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So she did come back later. She knocks on the window. It's in the middle of the night. It's like 12 o'clock, like booty call time. She knocks on his window. He in the room watching TV. He can hear like the porch door open, but of course it's late at night, so his door is locked. So he turns down the volume to try to see like.
Oh, he grabbed that pistol now. He got that iron.
I ain't forget.
Oh, he been had the iron play, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Goodness. So girl, he turns the TV down and he can hear somebody knocking on the window.
He heard somebody trying to open the door. He heard the latch, remember? Like he heard a click.
Didn't I just say that? Let me tell my story. You messing us, me and my friends up, because we like to have our girl time and talk on Friday nights.
Y'all got it. Oh, technically it's not nighttime, so I'm here now.
Don't you say I'm the captain now. I know that was coming up next.
How am I saying?
So, girl, Mr. Lee grabbed the peacemaker. It was a cowboy gun. Y'all gotta ask y'all old man the name of the cowboy gun. What kind of gun was it?
It was a revolver and it looked like a 357 or something like that.
I call it a cowboy gun.
It was a revolver, 357 or 44 or something like that.
So, girl, Mr. Lee grabs the peacemaker, goes to the door, and he said he had blinds to where you can look outside, they can't see you. Or he can see outside, but they can't see inside. So, he's looking out the window. It's Keisha. She got on her little lingerie, her nice little blonde wig. She's somebody else because she ain't have blonde hair the whole show. But this time she had blonde hair and her little lingerie. Baby, she was ready to tell Mr. Lee he got served. Okay? She about to pay his rent. Because her house was paid for, right?
Yeah, her house was paid for.
Her house was paid for.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Lee look outside. He see Keisha standing out there.
What was the age difference, you know?
I don't know what the age
She was old. He was older than her though.
No, he was older.
He was in his 50s.
Yeah.
She looked like she was in her late 30s, something like that.
Yeah. So, girl, Mr. Lee ignored her, right? He curved her. But he thought about that all MFing night, right? So he see her the next day, and he was like, Keisha,
He talked to you.
we ain't doing that. I ain't playing them kind of games. You know, I got a little friend on the side. You can't be popping up in your little lingerie. You can't do that. Like, we friends, we neighbors. Like, we got to keep this thing all the way cute. Don't come to my house in the middle of the night trying to have no booty call. Like, I'm not with that. So she grabs him like, oh, Lee, it's okay. He like, don't touch me. And this neighbor's like out. It's a Saturday. Everybody out cleaning their yard, watering their grass. And they caused the whole scene outside.
Well, he did. He blew up because he said he'd been holding it in. So he had it came out wrong, you know what I'm saying? Loud and wrong, you know.
Oh, man. So, girl, okay? So, she mad. So now, it's drama. From that day forward, drama. Plants started dying. Grass brown. She done poured some Crisco, some used fish grease on his grass. Then it was a storm. I think like Hurricane Marie or something like that. Was that it? Oh, he can't remember that, but he can straighten me out on everything else.
Just a storm, y'all. Just a storm. Hurricane.
So it was a hurricane. And it tore up his covering like over his pool. Like he had it screened in and it tore all that up. So she would say like, oh, what goes around comes around.
He heard her on the phone and she was just so loud.
I can't do it, y'all. I can't.
I'm helping I.
So, once the covering was gone over the pool, he had to call the pool guy out because something was going on with his pool. The pool guy told him, make sure you tell your kids not to put soap in the pool because this is not a bathtub. So he was like, I don't have no kids. Come to find out, it's Keisha.
We don't know that.
But of course, it was his word against hers. So he decides, okay, the grass, the pool, he's gonna go ahead and put a fence up. He puts up the fence. So now she know he really don't want nothing to do with her.
Well, you need all the shrimp and the mussel.
That's right. You know I love these mussels. I ain't had them in a while either. How you gonna check me? You would be the one.
No.
Let me open that one for me. So anyways, girl. Now I'm skipping some. Let me let you know. Okay, I'm skipping some on purpose.
Yeah, you skipping.
Cause that's how I tell my story. I don't tell my stories like from start to finish. So you messing up my vibe and my flow.
That's all good. Do your thing.
So girl, time goes on. Them few in grass is not greener on the other side, okay? Her grass is greener than his because she doing all kind of stuff to his lawn. Keisha gets a boyfriend. Now this is where things get a little tricky for me because Mr. Lee this is where things get a little tricky for me because Mr. Lee act like he was upset that she had a boyfriend, if you ask me. What you think?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
You ain't think so?
No, I don't think he was upset. He was, of all I'm concerned, he was glad to get out of here. She had her own space.
Well, so she got a new boyfriend, and I'm sure she done told him all the tea on Mr. Lee. Not all the tea, but about him, you know, they feuding back and forth with the grass, the trees, and all kind of crazy stuff like that. Let me get all the dip of this king crab. So every Thursday, Mr. Lee have his people come out and do his grass. This particular day, they missed and hit one of her sprinklers. So she sends her boyfriend, we'll call him Leroy. Leroy was a security guard, honey. He was big.
6'2", about 240. The main character in this story is what, he was 5'7", something like that. 180.
Is this a joke?
That's the truth.
So Leroy goes to Mr. Lee's house, banging on the door like he's the police, but he's the security guard, okay? So he banging on the door. So Mr. Lee come out, he like, yeah. So the guy was like, your lineman ran over her sprinklers. So Mr. Lee was like, okay, I'll talk to him. And he walked in the house. Well, that wasn't good enough for Keisha. So she done sent Leroy back over there. So Leroy knocks on the door again. Now, remember I said, well, Tony said, he was a big dude. So he looked like he could move some furniture around up in there. So Mr. Lee decided he gonna get the cowboy gun, put it in his back just in case things get a little crazy. He gonna stand his ground. Okay, he's in Florida.
Remember he told him, he said, I'll tell you about it. You wanna, we can go.
I ain't got to that part yet.
What you mean? Why you talking?
I just said he seen him. He came back, and before he opened, I ain't even got to that part. He ain't opened the door yet.
Dang. Excuse me?
Goodness. Eat your crab. See, that's why you can't have company all the time, okay?
Dang, I forgot I had this big piece.
So, girl, after Mr. Lee put the cowboy gun in his back pocket, he opened the door. And Leroy talking about, well, it's you responsible for the sprinkler. So you need to do something about it. So Mr. Lee was like, hey man, you want to have a drink by the pool And I can tell you what's really going on. This is the part Tony talking about. I can tell you what's really going on and why she's so upset.
Get my side of the story.
He was about to give him the tea, like, your girl used to like me, and she mad because I turned down the cookie, okay? And you're obviously the cookie monster, so let's be real about this thing. So when Keisha saw them talking, Keisha come running over there pulling Leroy away, because Leroy wanted to drink, okay? He a security guard. He been at the mall all day. He wanted to drink. Keisha pulled him off. And Mr. Lee is fed up. One day Mr. Lee comes home from work. Leroy, the security guard, got his Bubba Chevy parked in the driveway, jacked up, fixing on the car.
Crown Vic.
Bubba Chevy sound funnier. Tell her what Mr. Lee said.
Mr. Lee. Please.
That's the real name too.
I can't remember how you got to this story.
Oh, you can't remember now. So Mr. Lee said, hey, this ain't no mechanic shop.
Oh yeah.
Your broke ass. And that's another thing that made me feel like, okay, Mr. Lee, like, why you hating on the brother? Like,
yeah.
If you can fix on your car, you can fix on your car. It doesn't matter. Like, he want to save his coin. So he was like, this ain't no, you can't even afford to take your car to a mechanic shop.
Both of y'all broke. Two broke people over there.
Yeah, he was like, y'all two broke asses over there. So the little kids was in the neighborhood was outside, and they started laughing.
So that made old boy mad, boy.
So he mad. So now they just feuding. So time went on. It's a Thursday, because that's when he get his lawn cut. He come home, his lawn people outside, but they just standing around. So he was like, why y'all standing around? I'm paying y'all. Why y'all not cutting my grass? So he was like, because your neighbor won't allow us to cut the grass. So Mr. Lee was like, give me the lawnmower. I'll show you how to cut the grass. And he started cutting the grass. Leroy comes outside. Comes from out the backyard with his lawnmower. Well, it was Keisha's lawnmower, because child, he ain't had nobody house. He just was over there. So with Keisha's lawnmower, and just rams his lawnmower into Mr. Lee's lawnmower. But his Leroy lawnmower wasn't even turned on. He just was out there trying to bully Mr. Lee.
I mean, so you named them Lee and Leroy?
That's right. It would have worked out if you wasn't messing up my flow. I would have named him Tony. Once Leroy rams his lawnmower into Mr. Lee's lawnmower, he was like, I dare you to cut the grass. Cut the grass now. I dare you to cut the grass. So Mr. Lee was like, man, back up, back up. But he backing up into his yard. And Leroy is being very aggressive. And he's like coming up to Mr. Lee. And what happened, Tom? And what happened? He said, man, back up.
Back up, back up. And old boy started taking swings at him like he was being over aggressive, coming at old boy in his own yard.
Yeah.
Like he was gonna swing on him and stuff.
That's all you want to say?
You can finish.
So, Mr. Lee pulled out the cowboy gun. And he held it up in the air like, back up. I got a weapon, back up. And Leroy, I was about to call him Elroy, child. Leroy just kept coming. So, Mr. Lee fired off, what did you call it?
It was a warning shot. He was telling him, like,
you
kept telling him, like, you ain't gonna do nothing, you ain't gonna shoot me. So he shot in the air.
Yeah, so he shot in the air.
Shot. Old boy kept coming. So then he kind of like aimed it at him, but not aimed it at him. And he shot again to show him, like, I'm gonna shoot you.
Right.
But old boy kept coming at him. So shoot, that last time he shot him, like in the chest. Shoulder area, chest area.
Yeah.
Old boy fell to the ground, like, oh man, you shot me. I can't believe you shot me. I'm shot.
Yeah, and Mr. Lee was like, I warned you, like I tried to warn you. So of course, neighbors and everything are outside by this time because he did the warning shot and then like a little random shot.
And the lawn people was out there, so they seen all of it.
Yeah, everybody saw. They had a lot of witnesses out there. So Mr. Lee goes in the house. He calls the police. They come. They put him in the back of the car. They cut, and the ambulance come out there to try to help Leroy, and he dies on the lawn. Keisha pulls up like right when they put the sheet over Leroy. She's screaming and hollering, and they take Mr. Lee to jail. So he was in jail for like 6 weeks, and then they had the trial. Everybody agreed to testify, and they ruled it as self-defense. And till this day, they still live next door to each other.
And she denies all of that story.
Yeah, she said she never tried to hit on him. She never put the stuff in his pool, in his grass.
Never went to his house in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
So that's only his side of the story.
Yeah, that's only his side of the story.
So he could be telling the truth. He could be lying.
Yeah. But I think they was involved sexually, if you ask me. Just because to me, like, it threw me off when he started drama with the dude. Like, he did start drama with the dude, like they're trying to fix on his car.
Yeah, but that was after the, you know what I'm saying, the beef already started. So the beef already started by then, you know what I'm saying? And then it just was crazy to me because, like, you could, as a man, you could have just been calmed everything down, said what you need to say to her, be ain't feeling like that, telling you ain't feeling like that, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, he did try to tell her that, but
yeah, in the end, when he blew up that time, you know what I'm saying? Remember he said he let it build up.
Yeah.
So he could have just, and then he ain't had to do it like that.
He should have never did the forehead kiss.
Yeah, he shouldn't did that forehead kiss, and he probably did more than that forehead kiss.
That's what I think.
Especially for her to feel comfortable, she just coming over there walking in your house.
Yeah, she just walked in.
Like, I asked the other day, is she walking in your house like that?
Right.
Shoot, like, is that how the neighborhood go? Ain't nobody else doing it, so.
Ain't nobody else doing that.
And you allowing it. You parking at her house. Come on, bro. Like,
she taking pictures in front of the truck.
You feel like you gotta goddamn park down the street to come home?
Yeah.
Nah, bro.
Cause she got a little too clingy.
Yeah.
And now you trying to avoid her.
All you gotta do is tell her, like, hey, he know, you know what I'm saying? You know what kind of work I do. I'm tired. I don't like all that loud noise. So I come home, I'm on my quietness, and I don't feel like being bothered. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, man, she text you, give her your number or something to text you or something.
Right.
You busy? What you doing? Something like that.
She would just come over there. And it's so funny that his name was Mr. Lee because when I was a little girl, we had a family friend, an older guy. His name was Mr. Lee. He lived right next door to my grandma's house. And we would go over his house like that. We would just go over there. Like, he was like we were little, but he just was like the guy that cut your grass, fix your car, like whatever. And he was a friend of the family. I don't know how long he was, you know, next door, like how long my mama and them knew him, but they obviously knew him for a long time. He was a real, real nice guy. And we used to love Mr. Lee, and we would just go over there, like we would make him mud pies, and me and my little brother playing with matches. Set my my uncle's room on fire, and we ran to Mr. Lee's house, and we was like, I think the room is on fire. He like, what? And he went over there and saved the day. Mr. Lee died when I was like, I was probably like 20, and he died.
Dang.
Yeah. Mr. Lee, he lived right next door to my grandma. And we would go over there all the time, unannounced and everything. He always smelled like pecans. I can remember that. Pecans is what he smelled like. He had a pecan tree. Crazy how you remember that type of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Y'all look at my drink. It's so pretty. It's strong too.
Right there.
We killed that food.
Yeah, we did. You eat one of them lobster claws?
I'm gonna eat one. Yeah, we got the Dungeness crab from Costco and the king crab, because I know somebody's gonna ask. And then we got the lobster claws from Walmart. They're only like $10 a bag. And you could get, I think it had like 4 or 5 claws in it. And this is how big the claw is. And the mussels are from Walmart. Y'all know they like $5 a bag. They're cheap. And you go to a restaurant and order black mussels and it's like $20. It's crazy. Oh, this is good. You have lots of claw. So good. Okay guys, so I hope you're done eating. If you're eating with us, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. I am Sharika B, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye y'all.
Peace out.